Peace is the word. It's got move, it's got meaning. Sad that I remember distinctly. I think I'll use a microphone this time, even if it is Afro Mike, that douche. Cesaro, damn, you got a nice run up first coming in here. Orbs and Unicorn Mackenzie's back, and Martin Grizzy Dank, Diamond Dog, Sam, Unicorn Viva, Member Berries, I'm Member HD. Jonathan, it's me, Dio. Jonathan, Grizzy, oh, I saw Grizzy and Martin, Wolverine, and I'm getting behind. Skyden, hi, I'm reading slower than usual today. Connor Bradley, your school's been canceled for 3 weeks. We're kind of waiting to see. You guys know what the deal is already with Brax's college. I told you about that. But my grandkids with the local school here, we're waiting to see exactly what happens. I think we got a closing coming up. They were supposed to have a superintendent's day next Friday, so they changed that to Monday. So the kids are out Monday, but I think during that superintendent's day they'll be making decisions on exactly how to go forward. I look extra shiny today, berries. I was telling you guys for some. I can't figure out why the lighting is so radically different in my room here from day to day. I really want to readjust this whole room, make it more convenient for our streams, for our green screening, things like that. But it's so difficult because this goddamn old house that I live in, that we're an old farm style house, they don't have enough outlets. And there's no place, these thin wall, I got no place to run. Well, I guess I could run exterior wire and just put some of the covering over it. But yeah, we're here on a Free For All Friday. I'm talking to you guys about my wiring. Do you guys like the way I'm wired? No? Okay. Jamie. Oh, shoot. So what did I miss? Is Braxton being told to do class at home? Well, actually, Jamie, his school, that's right, not everybody's here on every stream, and I say things like, oh, you should all know. Braxton's school, all New York, well, he's at a SUNY, a state university in New York, and all the schools here are closed from, what is it, tomorrow? Today. Starting today until the end of the semester, and they're going to be doing distance learning, doing the online thing. But Brax is an RA, and there still will be kids on campus. The campus isn't closed, but they're encouraging everybody to do distance learning, even if you're still on campus, because you have a lot of international students. There's a number of students from New York City where the kids just don't want to go back because there's more issues with the virus down there, obviously, than there is up here. So because Brax is an RA, he still has to go back and perform his RA duty. So he'll be doing distance learning, but he'll be at the campus doing it. But he'll be here this whole coming week for spring break, though. So I get to spend some time with him. Mr. X says, your wiring seems to be a bit crossed and a little exposed. Exposed. No, it's... Oh, yeah, it was. Huh. God damn it. Who would have thought? I typically leave it exposed. The little thing's not going to hurt anybody. Jeez. How is Corona issue down there where we are, Matt? Haven't really gotten hit. I'm in upstate New York. I'm outside of Albany. Have a few cases here and there spotted around. Down near the city in Westchester County and into the city, it's much more so. I guess most of Westchester County, they could trace most all of it back to one guy. I think it spread through a synagogue or something. One guy who'd been traveling internationally, and it really took hold down there. I forgot what city it is in Westchester County, but yeah, down just outside of the city. Exposure is good, Blued says. I think so. Beer virus. Unicorn Viva says, can you call out my band? It's called Little Secrets. No, I'm sorry. I can't mention your band Little Secrets in the live stream at all. There will be no mentioning of Little Secrets, the band, in this live stream. Everybody got that? No mentioning Little Secrets. Sorry. I'd like to help you and your band Little Secrets, but I just can't. It's Corona time, boys. It is indeed, Centauri. It is indeed, my friend. Everything's cheap. And Martin says, go on a cruise, Curtis. It's cheap. I actually, I almost hesitate to take delight in it, but we have a Disney trip planned for September. Well, the Southwest just opened up their fares to cover September yesterday. Yeah, we got ridiculously low prices on flights. Holy shit. Everything has just dropped right out. I was telling my wife, see, my wife and I keep annual passes from Disney. The reason we keep them is if you go more than twice, they more than pay for themselves. And typically, we'll go more than twice in a year if we can. Now, the main reason we keep them is so that if, whenever you see, because, you know, the airlines will have big sales, Disney will put out a big offer where you can go really cheap if you watch for these deals all the time. Well, there's never been anything like this. You can schedule, if you want to, for us, where we are, if we want to go down to Disney in May, there are spots in May where we could go for 5 days, 4 nights, pay for the flights and the hotel, and we already have the park fee and everything for under $1,000. It's insane how cheap everything is right now. And again, we're thinking about it because but that's why we keep the annual passes. So if something like that came up, you know, you don't have the added expense of the park ticket. So I don't know. All Spaz family members are prohibited from receiving hand jobs. Hey, Ragav. Just because I never get one doesn't mean I'm prohibited from getting them. Curtis's camera. Why, is there something wrong with the quality, Santa Claus? The camera looks good to me today. I say it's a little brighter than usual, but that's the lighting has gotten so weird in this room, how it changes from day to day. Italy is the big deal now. Yeah. Chinese people have sent them mass supplies. Yeah, Matt, Italy's getting pounded. Well, Europe in general has been considered now the centerpiece of the coronavirus because there are more new cases coming up in Europe than there is anywhere else in the world now. Oh, yeah, Andrew says, went to the store today to buy toilet paper. Didn't realize how panicked people actually are. Not going to lie, I had to shower poo today and then get some expensive TP from the gas station. It's ridiculous. What? Guys, can somebody explain to me what the hell the deal? Why are they hoarding toilet paper? You know, you really do. You want to go in the store and see people with, like, they're literally hundreds of rolls of toilet paper in their basket, and you just want to smack the shit out of them. Smack the shit out of them, and they got toilet paper. Do these morons think that coronavirus gives you the shits or something? I mean, oh, we're going to be quarantined. There's no reason to believe anybody's going to be quarantined in the U.S. Anyway, we know what we're up against now. Everything is being put in place to try, you know, to keep big social interactions down, and we're going to have to deal with it as we go. Quarantining at this point isn't going to do much of anything for any of us here. We know what we're up against, but people are fucking morons. They really are. Jamie says Italians are getting pounded. Sounds like the usual. That's pretty good. New Rochelle, yes, thanks, Jamie, is the town you're thinking of. They have the National Guard. Feels like overkill to me. Well, supposedly though, Jamie, supposedly the National Guard is only there not to keep people in, but to help deliver food. Supposedly the National Guard is coming in to deliver food to people that they don't want leaving their house, so people can get assistance in getting food. That's supposed to be the case, which makes more sense than them actually trying to lock people down. Jesse says, it's bad that I just realized it is my birthday tomorrow. Oh, happy birthday, my friend. And also I live in the UK, so for me, every time is Corona time due to Boris Mophead Johnson. Mophead. I have to laugh at that because I hadn't heard that before, and yeah, that's pretty spot on. Happy birthday, Jesse. Diamond Dog says, I'm from Australia. A lady pulled a knife over getting toilet paper. What the fuck? And somebody pointed out on social media, I thought it was funny, they saw people going out of a Walmart with, cart stacked full of toilet paper, and the cleaning supplies aisle was well stocked. This is why it has such a good chance of just continuing on in America, because there's so many morons that just call it the way it is. There's idiots here that instead of worrying about keeping themselves sanitized and taking all the precautions they can against spreading the disease, they're just out buying toilet paper because they're morons. Yeah, Brian says, have you guys looked into Disney Vacation Club? We have, Brian. We may do it at some point. Do it. but right now we're still, even though we've been a bunch of times, we really like a lot of the resorts that are not part of the DVC. So for now, we're kind of, and the money really, believe it or not, when you crunch the numbers, the money's not that much different. You don't save a lot by having DVC. Well, plus we've been doing Disney so long, I'm pretty adept at getting all the deals and knowing where the deals are. So we don't really save a lot of money, and this way it gives us more options for resorts. But at some point, especially as we get older and stuff, we may go DVC route. We have definitely looked into it though. Let's see. Just install a bidet, I saw somebody said. Member Barry says, I went into the grocery store to get fried chicken for lunch and saw this lady with 4 bundles of paper towels and toilet paper. The aisle was empty. I bumped into her cart and they fell out and I laughed. The stupidity is stunning. And let's be honest, guys. If everybody in America, okay, every single person in America did what is being requested, and everybody was really conscious about cleanliness, not putting hands to face while you're out in public and everything, because like I say, I'm bad about it. I'm constantly hands to face, but when I'm out, I try not to. I try to remember not to. I've gotten pretty good about it, and then when you come home, I scrub my hands, so I know I'm in my, this is the safe spot at home. I can touch my face again if I need to. If everybody could just follow these simple rules, simple procedures, the disease would naturally die out. I mean, it's what's happening. China, South Korea, they're on the decline because people are figuring this out. But we have too many morons in the country. It's just all there is to it. M says they should be buying proper medications like Advil or ibuprofen and water rather than toilet paper. 100%, M. And I have to look because you changed. Oh, is it Nami? I just see you change. Hold on. If M's got Nami as her icon, you guys know I need to check this out closer. Why is it not? Okay, let me go. Oh, over here. I gotta open Nami's. Oh wait, no, I didn't want to do it that way. Let me do it this way so I don't interrupt you guys. Jeez, go to channel and open it in a new window. I gotta see. Oh yeah. God damn, Nami, you're gorgeous. Nice one, Em. I like that one. That tattoo on her arm is so badass, especially once you know the story behind it and everything. Oof. And it's funny. I will say that I think as far as waifus go, I think on the attractiveness scale, Nami and Nico Robin both blow the top of the scale right off. But I think Nami's probably a little bit more attractive, but Robin is clearly my waifu. There's just something about her attitude and demeanor to go along with the looks. They need TB for their bungholes. Big Green says. M says, if you like that pic, I can just send it to you. Listen, it was Nami boobies. You knew I had to see it closer. That is a good pic of her, though. I like that one. Oink says, my school decided to move my final exams forward 1 week because of coronavirus. I flipped my shit when I found out and kicked our bathroom door off its hinges. My dad was not happy. I bet he wasn't. Oh, shit. Cesaro says, here in Switzerland, schools are closed till April. Are they really? Wow. Well, that's basically what we're getting for the most part here. A lot of, what are we on the 13th? Yeah, so 2-week closures bring you right up into April. Jamie says, I wish I was skinny like Robin and Nami. I'm working so hard to be attractive like that. Well, I got to tell you, though, Jamie, at least for me, skinny isn't the begin all and end all, by far. By far. I mean, there are, I like looking at women with curves. I think it's a very attractive look. I don't think, it's like anything else. It all depends on the individual. On Nami, on Robin, because of the way they're drawn, obviously, they look attractive with the whole thin frame. But no more attractive than a curvy woman looks. Yeah, I've thought about that, Lifer. He says, Curtis, just coat your hands in hot sauce. You only touch your face and eyes once. Yeah. I've gotten pretty good about it, though. Again, you'll see me doing it here on the streams and stuff, but again, this is where I feel safe. But if I'm out, even in my damaged memory, I've got it pretty much ingrained now. I'll find myself going, no, whoop, no. And for me, more than anything else, is because I don't want to bring anything back in the house. My wife, who has asthma, I'm in the low to no risk category. If I get it, I get it, but I don't want to bring it in. M says, half my clients have canceled on me due to coronavirus. Oh, geez. Some on their own and others because of businesses, and I'm so annoyed. It's cut my income in half at the moment. That sucks. There's a lot of people being adversely affected. You don't have to tell us if you don't want to, M. I don't even know what is your business. If you're comfortable with sharing it. If you're not, obviously don't worry about it. That sucks though for anybody that it's really having an adverse effect on. You know what's as far as uh YouTube and the Goosh, it doesn't seem to be so far having a lot of effect. I know overall Patreon is seeing a little bit of a drop off, but that's to be expected just because people are with uncertainty. People like to hold on to their money, and I completely get that. You know what's surprising though? For ad revenue, 2 days ago we had the biggest ad revenue day we've had here at the YouTube channel that we've had in over 3 years. So what do you guys think it's just because all I can figure is it's because so many people are home now, all the college kids and stuff? You think? I don't know. It was weird because I looked into it just for that reason, and you can go to Graphtreon there, and I can see how month to month stacks up on Patreon and things like that. And I was just looking to see the numbers just out of curiosity. And again, you see a little bit of a receding there, which is understandable, but I don't get where the boon in ad revenue came from. Unless why would a pandemic create more ads for YouTube? I don't know. I can't figure that one out. Could just be coincidence. People can apply for unemployment insurance if they are out of work due to the virus. Yeah, as Andrew says, or and they are putting plans in place, which that I did approve of in Trump's speech, to help take care of businesses that are heavily adversely affected by it, financially affected. Oh, there's M's answer. I'm an independent contractor as a pet sitter, so people canceling vacations due to flight cancellations, business shutting down. I didn't think of that. It sucks. Yeah, it would. See, there's so many niche areas of business you don't even think about something like that. That would affect you greatly, because if people aren't, as M says, if people aren't going on their vacations, if they're not going out, the need for a pet sitter goes away. Oh shit. That sucks. That really sucks. US of A, you you should never have come here. Sam says COVID-19, all hell breaks loose. Shopify and other companies are paying employees to prepare to work from home. That's cool too, Brian. I do like, there's been a lot of decent things going on. You like to see the best in people. And I know, oh gosh, why is his name going on my head? The owner of the Dallas Mavericks, Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban said that with NBA season being suspended, all the staff at the arena and everything would still get paid. I see Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Bucks, my favorite team. You think I'd be able to pronounce his name? And one other NBA star, I've forgotten who. They both donated $100,000 towards the staff for their teams because of the season being suspended. It's cool that things like this happen. You know, it's nice to see people standing up for trying to help each other out. My father is a boomer, Sam says, and my mother is named Karen. I am a teen. My life is wonderful. Excuse me, that's pretty good, Sam. My father is a boomer and my mother is named Karen. Oh, no. Sam, you're living in a meme. Oh, that's awful. Evan says, on the other hand, some people are stuck in other countries or states because of it as well. Yeah, that is fucked up. So they've extended their vacations too. It's a clusterfuck at the moment. That's true. I hadn't thought about that either. Jesus Christ. Jamie says, what's killing me are the over-paranoid people lecturing people for not giving into the fear-mongering. People say that they're reckless and could be spreading the disease to the vulnerable. Absolutely. And I'll point something else out to you guys, and I'm sure you guys have thought of it, but feel free to and I think it's important. Spread this word around social media when you see people saying stupid shit about this. What I saw a lot of now with Disneyland, Disney World closing. Now we all know Disney World has only closed like a couple times the last 20 years, 20 plus years for 9/11 and one of the hurricanes, I believe, shut it down for a day or two. So now you're getting all kinds of people out there on social media saying, there's more to this than meets the eye. They're not telling us everything because Disney World would never close. This would never stop. This wouldn't happen. No, these people would never shut down. There's more to it, and trying to stoke more fear. Listen, you insufferable morons. All these things are closing down because that is basically our medicine right now. The only way we have to try and stop this is non-pharmaceutical, which is with social distancing. So everybody, you got the whole nation getting together saying, let's not put people together in large groups and see if, as happened in China, happened in South Korea, when you start putting these things in place, if that will stop the spread of the disease. There's no conspiracy here. There's nothing underhanded going on. Disney doesn't know anything the rest of us don't know. They're being responsible. And until we have a medication that will stop this, this is our medicine. Social distancing is the medication we have to use to try and stop the spread. So feel free to explain this to any morons you see on social media. That drives me nuts, the misinformation out there, just to try and get, well, I say just to try and get people worked up, but a lot of times it's just pure ignorance on their part. Thank you, Renzo. That's what we're doing. I'm only a fan of Waffle House closes, Grand Prix Goku says. Understandable. But that's why everything is closed, because that's the only option we have right now to try and stop it. It's not because there's more to it than anything. We all know what we're up against. No, Santa Claus says, you think toilet paper is worse? Yeah, here people are cutting bras and making them as masks. Oh my God. Holy shit, that would never work for me. Guys, do you know how giant my head is? If we have to cut bras to make masks, are any of you girls out there like an F cup? Because that's what I'm going to need to cover this giant freaking face. Hook me up. Michael says, my dad is one of those conspiracy theorists. That's rough. And normally, okay, if you want to be a conspiracy theorist, and no matter how crazy your little conspiracy may be, generally they're harmless. You just pat people on their head and go about their way. But here it's just not fair to people to try and get them terrified. Especially if you're in a high risk group and you happen to come across information that's just like that. Oh no, there's way more to it than they're letting on because Disney World closed. No, you morons. That's what we're doing to try and defeat the disease. Nothing more, nothing less. Brian says, nephew just came home from Muhlenberg and Allentown. We're from Poconos originally. Pretty much same stuff happening as is happening in SUNY. Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty much the MO across the nation, Brian. It sucks. The only reason, because at first I wasn't sure about going this route, but now understanding what they're doing, the only reason I don't think it's overkill is because the only way that this type of social distancing is effective is if everybody takes part. So it's kind of an all or nothing thing. There's no sense in, as far as like, let's say concerts, sporting events, stuff like that. If some are going to do it and others aren't, there's no sense in anybody doing it and just give in to it. So I kind of get where everybody's coming from now. And we did see, it's very important. China, South Korea, when they made the people aware, started segregating people, had lockdowns or shutdowns, whatever they needed to do, quarantines, it did work. In both those nations, the daily infections are way, way, way down. So we've already seen a blueprint for how to get there. Why not take advantage of it? Because it's going to be some time before there's going to be any, if there is, it'll be some time before there's any real medicinal pharmaceutical means of correcting this, of taking care of this. So we do what we got to do. Gimster says, even if I wasn't in a corner of Canada, I'd still be safe from the bat virus due to me being a shut-in gamer weeb who doesn't like social interaction. It's funny, Gimster, I've seen a lot of people friends of, online friends and stuff saying similar things. It's like, wow, who would ever thought that being a complete and total, well, my one buddy, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, who would have ever thought that being a complete and total loser living in my mom's basement would work to my benefit? It's funny in a way, because that's what he says. All I do is I stay downstairs and I play video games all day. I and I don't want to make fun of anybody that has social anxiety, but he was making fun of himself, saying that he's going, social anxiety may have just saved my life. Hey, like, so nice. I have a friend who works conventions in the artist alley, and now he's losing work. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, convention. Anybody whose income is tied tightly to the convention industry is in trouble. But the people I feel most for are those who work for tips. Correct. Yeah. And I hope what Trump laid out the other night, and Congress did come through and get a package put together. I hope they address all that. I mean, let's help everybody, because there are a lot of people, and also, just like we're talking with M, and all sorts of little niche service industries and stuff like that are going to be heavily affected. And with the package they're putting together, the monetary package, what was it, 60 billion? There should be enough money in there to make sure that everybody gets taken care of, particularly if, and I'm thinking this is the case, with the plan they have in place, with this massive social distancing we've got going on. I'm hoping that in 2 to 3 weeks we're going to start seeing serious decline in new infections here in the U.S. Let's hope. One thing that's true, the economy has been hit by this. I agree, Jamie, but I do also think that if it's brought under control in a reasonable amount of time, the economy will bounce back without too much difficulty. Wolverine says, "Bring it on! I'm a blood donor. Quieter donations." But that's the main thing. Is the misinformation that's out there is just horrific. Let's see. Sam says, in addition to my meme life, they named me Samuel after the biblical character Samson, and I have little house on the prairie style, but with more hills and coal because Eastern Kentucky. Okay. Sam is living the meme life. Save the vampires, donate blood. Link like says. M says, wash your hands regularly, use hand sanitizer, and avoid touching your face or other body areas prone to infections. You'll be fine. That's the thing, M, and that's why it's so sad, because if you had 100% buy-in on that, this virus would die of natural causes in the U.S. very shortly. But everybody will not do it. Just won't happen. Jamie says, being asthmatic, I know I need to be careful. Yes, you do. And even though I believe the cause of this has more behind it than meets the eye, I won't give in to fear and stop living. If it's my time, then oh well. And that's the thing too, Jamie, is like you say, I've even told my wife, because she has asthma, I said, look, and she hates this idea, but I said, you need to just stop going out any more than necessary. Whatever it is, if it's to the store, whatever you need, I'll go get. Whatever we need to do, I'll go get. Because I can go out, get it, take care of it, and then I come in, and before I do anything else, I just go scrub the shit out of my hands, and we try not to keep it moving, try not to bring it back into the house. But again, I'm fortunate, I'm in the low risk category. My age isn't advanced enough yet that I'm in a high risk category. I don't have any breathing issues. I don't have any underlying health issues at all, other than post concussion, and I don't think brain damage counts in this case. Alex says, imagine how it must have been during the plague. Oh, well, that was just, yeah. During the plague, it was just, and again, at a time in mankind's history where medicine was not at its pinnacle. It was just hanging around waiting to die type thing. Yeah. Shishui Uchiha says, do you ever think the virus will hit the Hidden Leaf Village? If it does, blame Donzo. I say 100%. If it does, it's Donzo's fault. Absolutely. No question about that one. Igor says, coronavirus isn't as bad as people think it is. In China, the outbreak has been stopped. People just stay the fuck away from each other for about a month. It'll be solved. That's basically what we're saying, Igor. If people are smart, if people will do exactly what is being recommended that they do, everything will be fine. It'll run its course. Well, I should say everything will be fine. Obviously, some people who are in the high risk group are unfortunately going to die. It's just a fact. But we can greatly mitigate the damage if everybody takes responsibility. Stop worrying about the fucking toilet paper and wash your goddamn hands. Like Zoinks. Oh, message retracted. Well, thank you for the donation, like Zoinks. Evacuate Hinata, Shirokage says. Yeah, priorities. Hey, Vanessa. Damn it, you two don't emoji me without my say-so, Lou says. Sam says, and I'm like 25% ginger. Hold on, went by. In the words of Aaron Yeager, even a drop is too much. And asthmatic. I'm full ginger, Sam, so I can identify with you there. Oh, and asthmatic. That's my wife too with asthma. You guys really, really got to be so focused on staying away from everything as much as you can. Timu says, just came back from the store about an hour ago. The way people are buying TP is driving me crazy. You and me both, my friend. There is now a total 150 corona cases in Finland. But, and again, it's what? Has anybody been able to get any type of reasonable explanation from these morons why they're stocking up on toilet paper of all things? And even if they still think they're going to be quarantined, what are you talking? 2 weeks quarantine? How often do you wipe your ass? I mean, you need a couple hundred rolls of toilet paper over 2 weeks. I mean, we have a pretty large household here in that, it's me, my wife Braxton if he's home, my mom lives with us, and we have staff in every single day, every day during the work week to help with my disabled daughter, 2 different staff members that come in at different times of the day. In other words, there's a lot of people through our house. And if I buy that Charmin, that big rolls there, it says 12 rolls equals 48. You guys know what I'm talking about. I buy those and they last us 2 weeks. 12 rolls. So who the fuck needs hundreds of rolls of toilet paper? Freaking people just, I can't deal. Like someone says, coronavirus, daylight savings, Friday the 13th, and a full moon this week. Who the hell is playing Jumanji? Well put. Yeah, pretty much, Zoinks. That's good. Yeah, I've been asking the same thing, Santa Claus. Lude said the same thing. What is it with toilet paper? What's the point? I'm seriously trying to find out. I really would like, if it weren't for the fact that you don't want any more interaction than necessary, it would be one of those rare cases where I take my remote equipment and go out and see if I could find somebody buying a bunch of it and see if I could get an interview with them and ask them what exactly they're fucking doing. I would love to. Vanessa says, I remember you with Slow Joe. Oh, good old Slow Joe. Too bad. Last we heard of him, he got killed. I think Golden killed him. Gimster says this newest sickness that's spreading shows that the shut-in shall rule and create a new paradise of anime and gaming. Bring it on. The shut-ins are the alphas now, Gimster. It's true. It's 100%. They're going to be standing on top of the heap when all is said and done. Yep, you are correct. Clamp says, any news on Code Geass? Nothing new from the other day. Just what I was saying, that I'm probably going to put it at the $1 level after Trigon. That's still the basic idea. Jar says, we spend trillions of dollars on healthcare and can't contain the coronavirus. That's ridiculous. Did you hear that the Fed gave a $1.5 trillion stimulus for business to boost the economy? Corrupt? Well, I wouldn't call that corruption, Jar. Those are not mutually exclusive. You can still try and salvage the economy as you battle a virus. So I don't necessarily agree with that. But to me, that's not necessarily fair because, yes, we spend trillions of dollars on healthcare. You can't contain the coronavirus, so it's not something you can just fire money at. It doesn't matter how much money is spent on healthcare. It's a new strain of the coronavirus, and it's a lengthy process to disseminate it, determine what the best course of action is, and hopefully come up with a medication. They've got, what is that one medicine? Recidivin, I think it's called. They've got medications in trials right now. People with coronavirus can sign up for these trials to take these medicines because they're trying to push everything through. So I don't think it's necessarily fair to say, we spend trillions and can't take care of it, because prior to a little over a month ago, it was unknown. So, it doesn't matter how much money was thrown at it. It's got to take its course. Chrome says it's pretty obvious, Curtis. Toilet paper will be the new currency once the society we live in burns down and the weeb shut-ins. And what is that? Hikikomoris inherit the earth. Cornholio, Mr. Miles says, Cornholio needs hundreds of rolls. He needs them all. I didn't even think of that. That's what should be memeing right now, right? It should be Beavis. I need Tippy for my bunghole. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That should be memed constantly from here on out. Licks. Oh, look, the world is ending. Okay, who wants to join Enclave? Hey, Tom. Oh, good, Dab and Dab. I'm glad you got in here. Idi Amin says, you make me laugh every time with that screen name. When you're down on your luck and feeling blue, remember that Curtis and company are here for you to make you light up like a light bulb and smile on through the days. Just a little poem I made. I like that. Who would have thought that Idi Amin had that kind of inner poet? I like that. Let's see. I just saw something and then I lost it. I just saw Cornholio. Big Green says, Cornholio is no longer asking for TP. He's taking it. Brian says, one person that doesn't have to worry about this is Brock Lesnar. That guy doesn't want to be around people if he's not being paid to. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, he's big and being out in the middle of nowhere, isn't he? Yeah, he's a major loner. I tell you, I told the gang, if I do decide and I can make the time to do some wrestling related videos, because it seems to be one of the more requested things we get around here, the first conversation video would be about Brock Lesnar, because I have a little bit of a different take than do a lot of people. I actually like him as a worker. I think as a wrestler, and I would tell you in detail why in the video, but yeah, as a wrestler, I like him. I'm a fan. What I know of him, and from people that I know, people that have met him and worked with him, I don't think I would like him as a person at all. Did I lose weight? A little, Rachel. Ever since the baseball thing started, you guys know I'm playing in that league now. So it's been, about 2.5 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks. Immediately when I knew that, because I know how I'm supposed to eat, I just never bothered doing it. So I immediately changed my diet, and I've been working out regularly. I did wind sprints the other day. Let me tell you guys something. When you're 58 and you've put your body through the things that I put my body through all these years, and you weigh 280 pounds, your body gets pissed off when you do wind sprints. It retaliates. It's like, yeah, okay, you do wind sprints, but guess what, motherfucker? You ain't sleeping tonight. Vanessa, Curtis should go on Omegle. I would love to say hi to you. Omegle's dried right up. I went on once, it was a while ago now, just to see what was going on and maybe post a different Omegle video. But there's so few people on there now, you'd have to be on there, it seems like, for hours just to get enough material to make a video. Hey, Skook Nasty! Igor says, Brock Lesnar is quite a cool guy. Back in 2015, when the snowstorm hit and Raw was canceled, the wrestlers got stuck in the hotel, and Brock paid the entire bar's drinks for the wrestlers. I did hear about that. I was really surprised to hear that, and that is a cool move. That really is a cool move. I think, and again, strictly from someone who does not know him personally, and when I say things like this, I just like to make that clear, just based on things that I've been told by people who have worked with him, who have met him, he just sounds like he might actually be kind of socially awkward, which is hard to think about with somebody who performs in front of millions of people and a big badass like that, but that has nothing to do with how you feel inside. It does kind of seem like that might be the case with him. Gimster says, With the apparent world-ending virus going around, it appears that the world is going down the Fallout universe route. Time to stock up on bottle caps. Indeed, Gimster. and toilet paper. Yeah, this is... I've never heard of that word, Chrome. Hikikomoris? An anime fan. So, apparently so. Because I have no idea what a hikikomori is. No idea. Yes, I do remember talking to Angela, Vanessa. There are a lot of fun bots out there. Link says, I would like to suggest that you perform a striptease. I think it would be a light in these trying times. I would if the coronavirus was something that you needed to induce vomiting for to help clear up. I would be glad to, but I can't see any reason outside of that. Wolverine says, I'll give you one toilet paper for Brax. I need a slave. It could come to that. That could become a deal. M says, I've seen people selling bottles of hand sanitizer for $100 online. Who's dumb enough to buy it, though? It's disgusting. That's just pure filth. Yeah, I'd like to get a hold of somebody who would sell a bottle of sanitizer for $100 and punch them in the fucking face. I really, really would. Centauri says, stock up on coronavirus beers. Excuse me. Let's see. Jamie says, Uncle Curtis, I'm worried off one of my leftist friends went on another tangent and how this is all Trump's fault and the GOP is blocking any help. Apparently only the Democrats are trying to help. Anybody on either side who is just trying to politicize this, somehow make this somebody's fault, or this person's not reacting strongly enough, this person did that wrong, is full of shit. Enough is enough. I like a good political go around. You guys know that as much as anybody. But come on, this is no one's fault. It's no one's in America's fault. Another thing I don't really understand. Maybe you guys can explain this to me, because I'm sure you've seen it too on social media, how we're not supposed to mention the fact that it's China's fault, or be careful, don't call it the Wuhan virus. Listen, China has no guidelines, nothing in place as far as sanitation and sanitary means for their food and these wet markets and stuff. The government allow these just disgusting practices to go on day after day, right, out in the open for all to see, and they have no guidelines, nor do they even care to try and diminish the chance of things like this happening by allowing these horrific things like animals that have been used for testing to be put then back out in wet markets, and then within these wet markets the animals kept in squalor and horrible conditions and without space from one another. It's China's fault. Fuck that. You don't like hearing that? Too fucking bad. China inflicted this on the rest of the world with their abysmal practices of non-sanitation. Now, is it possible for a virus to start in a sanitized situation? Absolutely. But that's not the case this time. And it is on China. Fuck them. Oh, you don't call it the Wuhan virus? That's xenophobic. It's not xenophobic. It's accurate. It's facts. If the facts are inconvenient for you, too bad. Alex says, China tried to cover it up. It's 100% their fault. Absolutely they did. Look what they did to their own people. Look at how they came down on their own doctors who were trying to, good, well-intentioned people who were trying to sound the alarm saying, hey, this is serious. This is SARS-like and something's going on here. And they immediately silenced them. Fuck China. They are absolutely responsible for this happening to people all over the world. Let's see. What's this about bathtub anal? I don't know. I missed that. What's going on here? China ought to pay for all the money this is costing. Well, at least you would think, and it won't happen, at least China could do. And they're not going to pay restitution. We all know that. But at least, in deference to the rest of the world, create some standards. Create some standards of cleanliness. Create some standards, of this is how food must be handled, and this qualifies as food, and this does not. Do not sell this to be consumed. Fuck, that's the least they could do. That stuff pisses me off. It's like, oh no, you can't call it Wuhan virus. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can, because it started in Wuhan because the Chinese government doesn't do anything to rein in filthy habits. That's a good point Jonathan has. I think we should just call it the cornholio virus since everyone is stocking up on TP. It's not a bad call. Uh M says, I approve of bathtub anal. Lots of wet and slippery. And there's a reason you're my girl. um, uh, Batman Big Fan says, in Kuwait, we have 100 people who have corona. Kuwait is so small we can't get out of our houses. It sucks. Fuck China. Oh, so you're Kuwaiti, Batman Big Fan? Yeah, it is. I mean, that's just the facts. It is China's fault. Whether that hurts their little feelings or not, whether that makes some social justice warriors in America upset, too fucking bad. It's their fault. Clean your shit up. Jesus. um. Oh God, I hadn't even heard that one, Chrome. China's media now trying to blame the U.S. military, saying they caused and spread the virus in the first place. Yeah. Well, they're full of shit too, because we all saw the videos that were leaked out of China of them sending in the government in that initial wet market, just scrubbing the shit down the place. They had everything torn apart and were scrubbing every little last element in detail. They know exactly where it came from. Jesus Christ. Let's see. Igor says, did you hear about SmackDown tonight and this following Raw will be moved to WWE's Performance Center because of the virus? No, I didn't, Igor. I was wondering what they were going to do. My granddaughter, of all people, my pretty petite little granddaughter, is a wrestling fanatic. She has been, she was constantly going on the WWE website because I told her, I said, listen, ads, if they come close with a Raw or a SmackDown, I'll take you. Because the Road to WrestleMania shows, I've done them before, they usually aren't very good. So I told her if it's a Raw or a SmackDown, well, the other day I get an email, we got a SmackDown coming to Albany here. So I bought her tickets, and it worked out well because she's a fanatic for dance. She's been, obviously, she takes her classes. She's in several different types of dance. And their big competition was this weekend. It just got canceled, and she was devastated. So, and I felt so bad. She was couldn't stop crying. So fortunately, I had already bought the tickets, and I told her, I said, well, listen, I said, I don't want you to have more disappointment. I said, so be aware that she's a smart kid. She understands what's going on with the virus and everything. I said, be aware, if this continues on, they'll have to cancel this show, but I did get you tickets to SmackDown. And it was just like night and day. Her eyes just got like, and she immediately went over to the computer to see if she could get on any of the cheat sheets and find out who was supposed to be there and everything. So I'm hoping that she actually gets to go see it. But I drilled it into her, let's just keep our fingers crossed because it may or may not happen. But if it does, and I'll make sure and remind you guys, because I was able to get right in the section that the camera looks at, 6th row. So if she wants to make a sign, so if she makes a sign, I'll tell you guys what it says so you can look for us. Let's see. China admitted weeks ago, Chrome says, at the very least came from one of their animal research labs. Right, I did hear that. But they keep changing the story. Yep. Iran is now stating that it's probably lab made as well. Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think by lab made, I don't think that was necessarily even their goal wasn't some sort of biological warfare. I think it was just they were working on things in a lab, but because of the haphazard way they handle things, it was allowed to get out into the wet market. And that's on China, the government, not the individual people, the government, who should be clamping down on all this shit, who should have been trying to bring China into the real world for decades, not trying to become a major world powerhouse by allowing and still yet allow their people to live like it's a third world nation, which is basically what they do right now. I think so too, Centauri. China most likely killed off the doctor that died from coronavirus for sounding off the alarm to the world. I again, you guys know me, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I don't think that's a conspiracy at all. He was a young, seemingly in good shape doctor, and he died from coronavirus, the guy who was trying to tell everyone about it, and he died from the coronavirus. Yeah, he died from coronavirus the same way that Epstein killed himself, exactly the same way. Let's see. Yeah, Dab and Dab says too. Yeah, they killed him. No question. um, Ex Lover says we have to be careful blaming China though. We don't want to get angry and then make an excuse to go to war with them. That kind of stuff is always way more complex. No, I disagree with that. Absolutely, China. We have every right to. The whole world has every right to be angry with China. And when I say be angry, I'm not saying declare war on them. I'm saying put political pressure on them to clean up their mess, to have some fucking standards for cleanliness over there and stuff. No, I disagree. We can absolutely be. People all over the world are losing loved ones, and even if it is okay, even if it is mostly the elderly, well, if your grandma is 82 and died from it, well, maybe if coronavirus didn't exist, she was going to live to be 85. You still got cheated out of several years of her life because China lets miserable, grubby shit like that go on. So, no, I disagree. I think they deserve all the blame, absolutely all the blame. And I think pressure should try and be put on them from the entire world community to clean up their act, literally. Let's see. Ansel says, what are your thoughts on Harvey Weinstein getting sentenced to 23 years? Anybody that sexually abuses someone else, I don't give a shit if I don't think they should ever see the light of day again. Fuck Harvey Weinstein. M says, timeout corner. Chrome says, oh, China's got a history of killing political opponents. Not connected right here. Tiananmen Square is a lovely place to visit, but unfortunately nothing ever happened there. Foreign scum. Yeah, I agree, Chrome. I mean, it's absolutely their fault, and they should absolutely be called out for it. And again, that doesn't mean nuke them. It means there should be some sort of worldwide pressure put on them to do something about things like this, because this could have been avoided. Gimster says, with all this talk about people getting infected left, right, and center, I'm getting ready for a World War Z setting. Who want to squat up? I'll be medic. World War Z. Who? Oh God, what's his name? Who gets to be Brad Pitt? Me? Let's see. Brian, don't know why people are worried about wiping their butts. 90% of their shit comes out of their mouth. Good point, Brian. Excellent point. And I'll bet you those people hoarding the toilet paper are the ones where it might even be more than 90%. Edie Amin's going to be a rifleman. Guys, we need to kill Chrome. What happened, Jack? What did Chrome say? I don't think Chrome says I don't think Weinstein got enough time. But it does sound like he'll die in jail, which I say good. Yeah, that's I'm with you, Chrome. As long as he can die off in prison, that's more than fine. Anybody again who sexually abuses someone else, come on, what you guys? All right, maybe I'm a little bit of a sociopath. That's an aside. But if you sexually abuse someone, and then particularly if you sexually abuse a child, what use do we have for you in society? I don't give a rat's ass if you think you can be rehabilitated. It's not our responsibility to rehabilitate you. It's our responsibility to get rid of your dumbass. Hey, Fubu Gamer. Uncle Curtis, Jamie says, what credibility would you give the report about Silicon Valley tycoons running simulated tests about a response to COVID-19 done 6 weeks prior? I don't know, Jamie. What credibility would I give it? From what I've read about it and stuff, and as weak as the information is, not much. Not much. I don't tend to... I need something a lot more concrete than just the whispers and the nudges that we've heard about it so far. Is it out of the realm of possibility? Of course not. Do I think it took place at this point? Nah. Igor says, and WrestleMania is possibly getting postponed or canceled. I know that sucks. The city of Tampa decides WrestleMania is out. Yeah, that sucks. I mean, it's understandable. It's understandable, but it does suck for everybody. Sergeant Renegade says Harvey is a piece of shit. Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. Jamie says, amen, bullet to the skull to every rapist and molester out there. Yeah, it's, again, there are certain things that, this isn't you're not talking about speeding on a highway. You were in a hurry to get home and you lost track of how fast you were going. You took the conscious act to victimize sexually someone else. Fuck you. What do we need with you? Hey, Mr. Swag Bandit, good to see you again. Oink says, are you telling me it's actually China's fault my bathroom door is broken? Fuck China. For those who don't know, Oink was saying earlier how he got upset about the whole thing and about his tests getting moved up at school, and he broke the hinges on his bathroom door, and now now his dad's not like super happy with him. X Lover says, yeah, you abuse a child, you got to go, just like we domesticate animals. With you 100%. There's no excuse for it. Absolutely none. Absolutely none. And it's like, and you get that whole, and I won't go too deep down that rabbit hole, but it gets me now too. Now pedophiles want to be respected because just because you have those leanings, just because you have those feelings, doesn't mean you'll act on them. Well, you know what? I really don't give a fuck. If you have those feelings, I don't want you around society. If that makes me a bad guy, so what? Because that victimization, the person that your potential victim is the ones that as a society I think we owe the most to as far as protection. And if you have those feelings towards a child, despite what these pedophile groups will try and tell you, it's not natural. There's something fucking wrong with you and it needs to be corrected. Figure it out. Figure a way to correct it. I don't care what type of lobotomization you need, but correct it. Because we don't want you out here. Yeah, Jamie says, that makes me so sick that monsters try to normalize harming children. That just kills me. And they get support from some people too, saying that, well, it's true if they haven't actually acted on it. No, it's a fucking problem. If the thought's there, it's a problem. Let's see. Brian says, hi, I'm new to the channel. I've been watching the reactions to it's got to be Naruto. It's probably switched on you. And Dragon Ball. Are you going to do more animes as well? Well, we do a ton, Brian, but I never know what to tell you for sure. It took me, because most of the anime we watch is over at our Patreon. That's because YouTube put in that dopey block system that doesn't allow me to make my fair use claim. And the reason I run down this is because I get this question a lot. So the gang here will tell you, I've been trying for months and months to just try and figure a way to bring some anime reactions back to YouTube. Now with the Dragon Ball Super ones, what's happened is Toei is well aware of them. Every few days, Toei comes through and they claim the ones that I posted, but all they're claiming is the monetization. They're allowed to be played worldwide and Toei gets the monetization from them. I'm fine with that. But I don't know how that'll affect the next one. When we finish Dragon Ball Super, I'm hoping Toei's going to continue on this path. When we finish this, I'll try and bring another anime series here from our Patreon, from the Goosh, but no promises because I have no idea how that creator will react. It makes sense for Toei. I can prove over and over again where I'm not taking any money out of their pockets. Everybody that watches those reactions with me has already seen Dragon Ball Super. They're watching for the reaction. It's all cut up. I'm speaking over it. Nobody's watching it to watch the original. And so by doing the third-party claim, I get to post videos for you guys and Toei gets paid. It's the best situation. So I'm hoping maybe the other Japanese companies have figured that out as well. So I the answer is I don't know. After Super is done, I'll try and bring another over, but I have no idea what'll happen. Brian Hutch says that's the point of reaction videos. No one watches the original after a reaction video. Well, that's what I'm saying. Nobody wants to watch a reaction that hasn't seen an original if the reaction video is done properly. Again, there's a reason that my audio is always dominant over the video's audio and everything, because I don't want to make that an experience where someone can come in and watch the original. But the Patreon actually is what really helps me to prove that point, because even if it's only $1 a month, why would anybody pay to come watch these videos with me when we all know it doesn't matter what anime it is, it's all free on the internet. We all know where those sites are. There's not a goddamn anime out there you can't watch for free on the internet. And the people that are part of our crew are internet savvy. So why would anybody pay unless they're paying to watch the reaction? They can go watch the original at a number of places for free. So that actually helps. Should I need to make that point, it helps to make it for me. Gimster says, could you watch the rest of One Piece episodes in a marathon non-stop stream on YouTube? I'm not asking too much. I'm like, no, hell no. We should. What's it like? The rest. I'm on episode 370 now, so we got what 600 left. Oh no, we should do it. Maybe I'll do that later today. Excuse me. Zombie says, I honestly think China is doing this virus to hurt our economy. What's your thoughts? No, I don't think so, Zombie. I think this was just a result, again, as I said, of China's abysmal practices with sanitary practices, with sanitation. I just think it's a complete and total utter fuck up because they allow this type of filthy activity to go on. With what it did to their country as well, no, it's going to hurt them economically as much as anybody else. I think it's strictly all about them fucking up. Let's see. A quote with how good food looks in One Piece, you drop down on day one. Oh, I missed the conversation, but that's true. Yes, they do make the food look fantastic. Every time Luffy says meat, I start to drool a little. Then every time Nico Robin comes on screen, I start to drool a little. And every time Nami, you get the idea. Mr. X runs away. Oh, Mr. X is gone? React to all anime gone, says. All anime at once. Smoky Loki says, I find it hilarious that people think that stockpiling on water and toiletries will protect them from the coronavirus. Yeah, we've been talking about that, Loki. We can't figure it out. All of us here, and nobody can figure out what the fuck people are thinking with stocking up on hundreds of rolls of toilet paper. Yeah, Oink says, that's offensive, Curtis. They're called pedosexuals. That shit just infuriates me. Matt says, position on death penalty already determined on previous chats. Still curious about it, though, although maybe tough to say quickly to back up all arguments in one go. No, I'm pro death penalty. I'm pro capital punishment. One of the big not grievances, but one of the main opposition points to it is that it's not justice, it's seeking revenge. Well, I think that's ridiculous because all justice then would be revenge. It's like saying, okay, if you steal, you have to go spend the weekend in the county lockup. That's society's revenge for you having stolen something. If you take certain vicious, horrible acts that harm others, I think society's retribution for that should be to get rid of you. Because all people are created equal and all human life is cherished at the beginning, is valuable at the beginning. But through your actions, I believe you can make your life worth nothing. Now, I did at one point, I will admit that at one point I had said that I thought that it might be fun to introduce a wheel into the justice system where for certain misdemeanors, you would have to spin the wheel, and just one tiny slice of the wheel, just one little bitty slice, would be death penalty, just to try and keep people from not committing misdemeanors too, and be like, oh, you jaywalk, spin the wheel, but the chances are 1 in 1,000 that you'll get, oh, goddamn death penalty. But I'll back off that, but I will not back off supporting the death penalty. Brian says, Hulcher. Why did I say it wrong, Brian? Oh, man, just giving a hard time. Everyone messed it up. I'm surprised you haven't said Byron. I usually get that all the time. I almost did the first time, Brian. I almost dyslexic your word. I don't remember trying to say it. I'm surprised I said that wrong because I've actually seen your last name before. I've seen Hulcher before. It could be too. What you guys know better than anybody. I tend to try and talk too fast, but yeah, your last name's familiar to me. I'm surprised I mispronounced that. Gimster says, another part of me being a shut-in is the fact that I'm allergic to vitamin D. Oh, shit. And due to that, I can only stay in the sun for a certain amount of time. Oh, yeah, well, you don't have a lot of other options then, Gimster. And again, as you said earlier, though, could be working entirely to your advantage. You guys could be taking over very soon. Fubo Gamer says, I live in Germany and the government decided today that schools are closed for 3 weeks because of the coronavirus, but I need the lessons for my exams. Yeah, It sucks. I feel bad for all you guys that are. Oh, I said Hutcher. Did I? Who knows what was running through my running through my head, Brian? Because I was gonna say, because Hulcher I've seen. I knew somebody many years ago, but I knew somebody with the surname Hulcher. Um, I live in Germany, and I, that's what was pointed out to me today. I was talking about it too, like at Braxton schools, the SUNY schools, the state universities in New York. The seniors, it's gonna suck so much if they don't get an opportunity to walk when they graduate. Even if they do it later, it just kind of takes some of the, I don't know, some of the celebration out of it. I feel bad for you guys. It's it really really does suck. And again, that's why I get a little irritated with the whole thing, because it is, whether everybody likes it or not, it's China's fucking fault. They need to literally clean up their act, because this is bullshit that the whole world's dealing with this. Chrome says, react to all 4 kids One Piece in one stream. I did give you that link to literally every single episode of it. It's only over 100 episodes. See it now before before hell swallows it up again. Oh, goddamn 4 kids. They're the coronavirus. The original coronavirus. Alpha says, react to coronavirus. Do it, Palpatine. Smokey Loki. I'm in favor of an eye for an eye. You kill someone, we kill you back. You sexually assault someone and say goodbye to Mr. Willie. Immediate punishment equals immediate results. Yeah. And again, I know I'm alone. Well, I shouldn't say alone, but there's a lot of people who disagree with me on that. But I think that's a pure and equitable justice. And people say, well, what about cases of mistaken identity and people on death row that didn't deserve? Absolutely, there needs to be standards. However, in this day and age, with the forensics we have now, with everything in the world almost being on camera, the chances of someone being mistakenly put on death row are slim to none. And there are cases you can mention, like, again, the kid that shot up the school in Florida. Guess what? He did it. There's no question about it. There's no mistaking it. He did do it. Kill that little fuck. That's what I'm saying. There's so many cases where it's obvious what happened. There's no question what happened. You killed other people. You sexually molested a child. Get out. That's just my take on it. I'm glad you agree, Smokey Loki, because I get a lot of heat for that all the time, but I ain't gonna lie to people and tell them that I feel some other way. Mr. Miles says, there's no such thing as a perfect system. Even a 1 in a million chance isn't acceptable for me when it comes to a death sentence. I'm not sure what you're saying, Mr. Miles, as far as... Oh, at first I thought you were talking about about from misdemeanors. I was going to say that was a joke. I didn't mean it seriously. But, okay, well, then what is definitive? Let's use the, for instance, I just gave you, and I won't say his name, the kid that shot up the school in Florida. He did it. Everybody knows he did it. He was caught doing it. It was him. He had the gun. He shot the kids. There is no chance in a million. Get rid of him. Absolutely get rid of him. Let's see. With as bad as America's court justice system is, Lude says, I'm highly against death penalty over there. For anything. Fix that first, then we can talk about increasing punishments. I don't know what you're saying, though, Lude. What do you mean as bad as... You'd have to be more specific. I don't know what's that bad about our court justice system. So I don't know what you're saying. Chrome says, seriously though, I'm really split on whether to have you see Card Captor Sakura or 4 Kids One Piece next month. Either magical girls or a version of Arlong you'll hate even worse. And Boston Sanji. I've heard about Boston Sanji from 4 Kids before. I can't help you, Chrome. Both sound interesting as hell to me. I mean, if I had a preference, I would tell you 4 Kids is going to irritate the fuck out of me, and that's entertaining even to me. That Card Captor Sakura sounds interesting too. I don't know. I can't even help you with that one. Dab and Dab says, 1 bullet to the back of a pedophile's head is way less cheaper and more humane and ethical to rid the trash of the earth. Wolverine says, do I deserve to die for killing pedophiles? I think that depends on the circumstance. As I said, what I'm talking about is people acting out violently and wantonly against others. Is there such a thing as justifiable homicide? Sure, I think there are. Absolutely. Let's see. Shirokage says, nah, no death penalty, new penalty, goosh, goosh, and live. um, uh, if that, let's see, now it says, if that's people are afraid to kill someone on death row, I'll do it, no problem. Yeah. Now there was, this was years ago, back when newspapers were still a thing. There was an ad in a newspaper. This was legit, and again, it was a long time ago. And some local municipality, whether it was the county, the state, whatever, was looking for an executioner. And it said, you will have to take on this role and do this and be the administrator. I think they had the electric chair, I believe it was, in this particular state. And they said they were almost troubled by the number of applicants they got. Idi Amin says, Dear US of A, please send NASA scientists to help find a way to make real-life anime characters so we can give Curtis a living and life-size Nico Robin as a reward. Yours sincerely, Idi Amin Dada. Oh. Yeah, NASA could stop working on everything else if they could do that. Oh, that would be so cool. I'd be so happy. That would be the ultimate. Jamie says, I say death penalty should be given to rapists and molesters. There was a judge that said rape wasn't worse than murder because they survived. But the thing is, they wish for death, making it worse. Yeah, I don't think you can judge it on that whatsoever. You've destroyed someone's life. Just because they get to continue to live it doesn't mean they're not living in total hell just because of your actions. Yeah, I don't, no sympathy. I don't, at that point, I can't conjure up sympathy. I don't care that the rapist didn't get enough hugs as a child. Whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. You victimize someone else and victimize them in a way that just makes you of no value. And Brian says, if we killed pedophiles, some idiot would find the Dragon Balls and wish their dumbasses back. It's just our luck the pedophiles would find the Dragon Balls, Brian. Guys, unfortunately, I got to go. Thank you for this. I love Free For All Friday. I love all the days with the streams. This was another great Free For All Friday. I had a blast today. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. And again, any place you can counter misinformation online about this whole COVID-19, get after people. Jesus Christ. It makes me crazy with the misinformation that's out there. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Got a little bit more editing to do today. I always have my evening editing yet to do. And gonna go spend a little time with the wife. I'm gonna make her. She says she likes hanging out with me, but nobody really does. So I'm gonna make her hang out with me later. Gonna have a little chill time. And when I say chill time, we're both almost 60. Chill time means actual chill, falling asleep. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. And 2 days in a row, I got to give you guys sticky stuff. This was just such a wonderful stream. It's pomfu sticky stuff. Come on, everybody, come on. Put your face up to your device. Sticky stuff for everybody. There you go. Good for the complexion. Maybe, I don't know. Well, bang. Okay, flashily like Buggy, but most importantly, for always and forever. Goosh, 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 goosh. Goosh.